thinking about packing your bags and living abroad? But how much money do you actually need to make it work? Well, here's the spoiler. It's not as scary as you think, and I'm going to break it all down for you. Let's dive in. I'm Tay Brasco, and this is Books of Tay. Let's go. Hey guys, today we're going to break down travel, slow living, and financial freedom so you can live a life on your own terms today. So we're going to talk about the real numbers here for living abroad, what to budget for, where you can save, and how to avoid common money mistakes. Step 1. Know your destination costs. The first thing you need is research, and research, because you need to know the cost of living can vary drastically depending on the country, the city, and even the neighborhood. So for example, say if your destination is Southeast Asia, like Thailand or Vietnam, the cost might be from $800 to say $1,500 per month for a comfortable lifestyle. But if your destination is say Western Europe, you can easily spend $2,500 to $4,000 per month just on that destination cost. And a tip that you can do is you want to look for local housing. You want to look at the groceries. You want to look at your transport. You want to look at your entertainment costs, not just your online averages that you see on websites, because that can be misleading. That's why the first step is very important. You have to do your research when picking your destination costs. Step 2, you want to break down your budget. So think of your budget in 3 main categories. You have your accommodation, living expenses, and extras and fun money. So number 1, accommodation. That's your rent, utilities, and internet. Your big chunk of your expenses are going to go into your accommodation. So if you are an Airbnb type of person, you're going to spend more because you have the Airbnb fees, and it's usually like short-term rentals. I suggest slow travel living, where you can get a better deal and you can lease a condo or an apartment for 6 months or a year. You're going to get a way sweeter deal as opposed to trying to go through the Airbnb route, because the short-term stay, it's very expensive. You can get a deal if you go monthly. If you decide to go the Airbnb route, you get a cheaper deal, you get a better price when you book your Airbnb, say for a month. So if you're going to do Airbnb, try to go for the month, and that way you can get a better deal. But if you go like the week or days, it's going to be a little more pricier. But the best option for accommodation, go long term. You want to go 6 months or a year, and you get a way sweeter deal. Okay, so for living expenses, that's going to be your food, your transport, your health insurance, your phone bill. For food, it depends on your destination. If you're going to a Western country, or like Western Europe, the US or Australia, wherever the case may be, just Western Europe or just a Western country, your food is going to be very expensive, as opposed to say if you go to Southeast Asia, where the price for food can be more affordable. But if you prefer to eat out at Western food brands, you're gonna pay a little bit more. So to really budget and save, try to go local, try to get the local food, and you'll get a better deal, sweeter deal. And for extras and fun money, that category is like your hobbies, like travel, social life. You like movies. Say if you decide to go on a date, you just have money for your entertainment, your fun life, and you can budget in for that. So again, break down your budget into 3 categories. It's going to be accommodation for number 1, number 2, living expenses, and number 3, extras and fun money. Oh yeah, almost forgot. A good rule of thumb: your rent shouldn't be more than 30% of your monthly budget. This keeps your lifestyle flexible and stress free. Trust me, you're going to want a free travel life. And a good example, say your monthly budget is 2,000, so 30%, you're looking at 600. So that means your rent should be 600. You shouldn't go above the 600. You want to stay 600 and lower. If you go above the 600, you're pushing it. It's just a good rule of thumb is 30%. So you want to stay at the 600. So that means you have 1,400 left, which covers your food, your transportation, health insurance, fund money, savings, emergencies, etc. And by keeping this budget, this will help protect you and keep you safe. And you won't go into a high rent trying to overspend in your rent. You know where your cutoff range is at, so that helps you budget. Okay, for step 3, you want to have emergency and buffer money. Always have a safety net, ideally 3 to 6 months worth of expenses saved before moving abroad, because life happens, visa issues, medical emergencies, or unexpected flights. So having a buffer lets you enjoy your new life without having constant financial stress. And you can never over prepare of having emergency fund and buffer money, because you can't predict the future. You don't know what's going to happen or what could happen. So you always want to plan and strategize to have a fallback safety plan in case of an emergency. So that's always a good strategy to have your emergency and buffer money. Step 4, work out your income sources. Unless you're independently wealthy, multi-millionaire, multi-billionaire, you'll need an income stream. And this can be from remote work, freelancing, teaching English or other skills, passive income from investments or online businesses. Just make sure your income covers your monthly budget comfortably. Don't rely on winging it when you come to these new destinations, these new countries, and when I get here, I'm just gonna figure it out. You see some people, some nomads do that. That's dangerous, guys. The next thing you know, you only last a month. Then you're asking and begging family and friends to get you a ticket back home because you have no money and you just thought, I'm gonna wing it. If you get a chance, guys, just look up some of these YouTube videos of these nomads. They just wing it. I came with $1,000 and I just said I'm just gonna wing it and figure it out when I get there. That's not smart. That is dumb. That is crazy. That is insane. You always want to have a plan. You always want to have your income sources, whether it's passive, remote work, teaching, help you live independently, free, and comfortable while you're in these countries for the first time, or if you've traveled there plenty of times. Always have a plan. Even in life, you always want to have a plan in life. You never want to do things just free and willy and just off the cuff and just freestyle it. No, that's dangerous. You have to be wise in what you do. So make sure you have some kind of income source when you're traveling to these new destinations. And that way you can be comfortable and safe and not stress over money or income. Okay, for step number 5, lifestyle choices affect your costs. And what I mean by that, how you live dramatically changes your required budget. Small habits really do matter. For example, eating out daily versus cooking at home. Of course, depending on the country you go to, for example, Southeast Asia, you can afford eating out daily because it's very affordable, especially if you earn in Western income or Western salary. But you can also save if you enjoy cooking at home. You can save money that way as well. But usually when it comes to Southeast Asia, eating out daily is not a problem. Now, if you're in a Western country like Western Europe, eating out daily, you're going to kind of feel it as opposed to, say, cooking at home. You're going to save a lot more. So for this example, we'll throw Southeast Asia out of there and focus, for example, more on Western Europe. Let's say for the next one, short-term Airbnb rentals versus long-term leases. Example, 6 months to a year up. Is going to be a big difference in price as opposed to, say, a weekly Airbnb rental or a monthly Airbnb rental. You're going to see a price difference. Another example is local transport versus taxis and Ubers. So keep that in mind, that your lifestyle choices affect the cost. So slow traveling or living like a local will save you tons and tons of money, and often makes the experience a lot richer when you get to experience it with the locals and get the local prices from time to time, because you live amongst the locals and they'll tell you the spots to go to. Oh, don't go here, go there instead. Oh, don't buy this, buy that instead. So there's some benefits when you live with the locals and live amongst the locals. They take care of you, they look out for you. Okay, for step number 6, here's a real example. So, for instance, let's say you want to live in Bali. So you're looking at, for rent, you want to go between $400 to $600 a month. Your food and groceries, you want to go, say, $300 a month. Your transportation, you're probably looking at $50 a month. And all the extras and travels and tourist stuff, entertainment, you're looking at another $150 a month. So you're looking at around a total of, say, $900 to $1,100 a month for a comfortable life. Then you're going to add your $3,000 emergency fund, and you're going to be fully set for the first few months abroad. This is just an example, just off the cuff. I have heard that Bali is getting expensive, so you probably want to look at other locations, but that's just an example, a little rough draft of what you will look for when planning these destinations. You want to look for the rent, you want to look for the food and groceries, the transportations, the extras, the travels, the entertainment, things that you may find, fun activities, you can call it. Then you want to add another $3,000 emergency fund. And for the first few months, that should take care of you. Now, this example can look totally different if you want to go to, say, hey, I want to live in Switzerland. I want to live in Norway, Sweden, Paris, France, Netherlands. If you're looking at more Europe, your price is going to be different. If you're looking at Latin America, it's going to be a little similar, not as cheap as Southeast Asia, but along that line. But if you're looking at those kind of countries and continents, the prices are going to vary depending on the terrain you want to live as your destination. So that's something you have to research. So final thoughts. So how much money do you actually need? Really, it depends on your lifestyle, your destination, your comfort level. But with proper planning, living abroad is totally achievable, and you can do it. And if you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, comment below. Tell me what country you're dreaming of living in. And I'd love to hear your plans in the comment below. Let me know. But this lifestyle is achievable. It's not for a selective few. It's not for the rich and wealthy. It's not for multi-billionaires and millionaires. With proper planning and proper strategy, you can live in the destination you always wanted to live in and dream of. I'm Tay Brasco. This is Books of Tay. I love you guys. See you soon in the next video. Peace.